I'm back! Hey, what's up guys? I'm back from my trip from the Philippines. Sorry I didn't check in while I was gone. I thought I was going to have a lot more free time, but I ended up getting bogged down a lot with work. To be honest, I spent most of the time just trying to figure out what day it was. Anyway, the trip to the Philippines was definitely insightful. I think I learned quite a few things about my people while I was there. Just in case you ever find yourself in the Philippines in the near future, I thought I'd maybe share some of these lessons with you now. Lesson number 1. If you ever forget somebody's name in the Philippines, it's okay. Everybody has the same universal nickname. It's a little tough to pronounce in English, but it goes something like this. Psst. Lesson number 2. In general, Filipinos are pretty good at math. The only exception is when it comes to food. For instance, for breakfast one morning, I asked for a side of 4 pieces of bacon. I ended up getting a plate of about 12 pieces of bacon. The next morning, I asked for 1 extra egg. They gave me 2 extra eggs. Then the following day, I was at a business meeting and they had this really tasty pastry called an ensaimada. Anyway, as you know, I'm trying to limit my carbs, but I didn't want to be rude, so I told them that I'd take 1. By the time the meeting was over, they were sending me home with a bag of 32 of them. Lesson number 3. If you ask somebody in the Philippines how far away something is, they'll respond with the amount of time it will take to get there, not the actual distance. Lesson number 4. If somebody from the Philippines quotes you the amount of time it's going to take to get someplace, add 50% to the estimate. Lesson number 6. If you're in the middle of a conversation with somebody and they start doing this, don't be freaked out. They're probably not hitting on you. Probably. It's more likely that they're just gesturing to something with their lips. Oh, can you pass the salt? Anyway, in all seriousness, it was a great trip. The people there were really friendly, the food was really good, and I actually stayed in a really nice part of town called Fort Bonifacio. It was pretty westernized, lots of high-end shopping, everything's pretty much brand new, and everybody speaks English, so it was a really good trip. If you're thinking about taking an international trip, I'd highly recommend checking out Manila. So anyway, on to the moment of truth. Now, I mentioned in my last video I was pretty nervous about this trip because I always tend to gain weight whenever I travel. I was especially nervous when I got back from this trip because let's just say that the food that was available to me was not health food. As I mentioned, I had a little bit of ensaimada. Don't worry, I didn't eat all 32 of them. But I think one thing that did work in my favor is that I just did not know what day it was the entire time that I was there. So I ended up just eating like 1 meal a day. And I guess the jet lag worked out in my favor because as you recall, last week I stepped on the scales and I was 367.8 pounds. And this week, after I got back on Friday, I stepped on the scales and I was 365.8 pounds for a total loss of 2 pounds. Now that's the biggest weekly loss that I've posted in a while. I'm really happy with the results. In fact, I might have been a little bit too happy because it did take me a lot longer to kind of get back into the swing of things. And today is Monday, so I'm starting the week a few pounds up from where I was on Friday. So I've got a couple of days between now and weigh-in Wednesday for this week. Cross your fingers for me that I can make up what I've gained since then and post another loss for this week. If you're new to the channel, I'd love it if you'd subscribe so we can go on this weight loss journey together. Don't forget to visit projectreboot.com and sign up for the newsletter. You've only got a couple more days to qualify for your chance to win that free Jawbone Up Move fitness tracker. I'll be announcing the winner in my weight loss video on Wednesday. All right, guys, I'll catch you next time.